Welcome back, everybody, coast to coast, This Week in America. Then Sings My Soul by Doreen Hatton is a touching novel about loss, grief, and forgiveness, presenting a gripping, realistic portrait of heartache and the process of healing, which in cases of tragedy often truly begins at the moment of forgiveness. Doreen is a Canadian-born widowed mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother who grew up in a large family. Currently, she resides in St. George, Utah. Doreen Hatton, author of the powerful inspirational novel Then Sings My Soul, is with us on This Week in America. Doreen, a pleasure to have you with us on the program. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Rick. It's nice to be with you.
Looking forward to this conversation, and the book is so inspirational and it has such a great message. Tell us a little bit about the book, if you will. Tell us what the premise of the book is.
Okay. Lily Langston's husband is killed late one night crossing the street to his home. He had been over across the street helping his elderly lady friend fix her sink. The 15-year-old boy that killed him had only a learner's permit and should not have been driving alone, and especially at night. Lily's family are Christians who believe in forgiveness. The book is about the two families and their struggles to deal with the tragedy and how they learn through their pain to grow together through the joy of forgiveness and love. They are talented musicians, and through the power of music, their hearts are healed. This is the story of their journey.
And the story is the book, the novel, Then Sings My Soul by Doreen Hatton, our guest on the program. The book's available at Amazon, and if you link on to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, you will go directly to information on the book, Then Sings My Soul. What was the inspiration in writing the book? Where did this idea come from?
Oh, before I say that, if they go in Amazon and ask for Then Sings My Soul, make sure that it's the one that I wrote, Doreen Hatton. There must be 6 or 7 others with the same name.
I was going to say, and I'm glad you pointed that out, because I was on Amazon looking at that, and there are several others. So it's Then Sings My Soul by Doreen L. Hatton. If you go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, it takes you directly to the book that Doreen written, and we'll give you that information several times throughout the program. What was the inspiration for the book?
Okay, my inspiration to write the book was Mason, who the book is dedicated to, has autism. I wanted to be able to help him and his parents, Helen Leslie Briggs, in any way I could. And then, amazingly, one night, as I was beginning to wake up, I was prompted to write a book. I was even prompted with the outline of the book. There is no doubt in my mind that I was getting spiritual help. The next morning, I sat down and wrote the outline. So I started typing it, and every few days I would get more promptings. I believe these experiences make my book unique.
Well, it really does, and what a wonderful story. I mean, it was like you were led to do this. Somebody took your hand, didn't they, and they guided you through the process.
Oh, yes, very, very much so.
And the finished product is Then Sings My Soul by our guest on the program, Doreen Hatton. Who exactly is the target audience for the book? As I'm looking at the book, this really is designed for just about anybody, isn't it?
Yes, I believe there are lessons in my book for everyone.
I mentioned in the beginning a little bit of your background. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to.
And I'd love to have you do it, so please do.
Okay. I was born and raised in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. And my family was a very loving, church-going family. There were 13 children, and I was right in the middle, the 6th girl after 5 older sisters. After me came the boys. Naturally, I was very shy and very introverted. Fun one to say.
Yes, yes.
I felt lonely and wondered if I belonged anywhere. One night, I climbed up on top of a little hill on our property. I laid down and I looked up in the night sky, and I was thrilled by what I saw. I was only 6 or 7, but it had a deep and lasting effect on me. There in the night sky, there were billions of brilliant stars twinkling just for me, I thought. I knew then that God loved me because he had created all that beauty for me and, of course, all us children. Because of that experience, I know I am loved, not only by my family, but God and his precious Son.
It's interesting, it started as a child getting signs and guidance, and you are fortunate to have the wisdom to follow that. I think so often we get maybe signs and signals as you do, and we don't pay any attention to them. At an early age, you were able to be guided by that, weren't you?
I was, and how wonderful. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, and like you said, at 6 years old, it's a memory that stayed with you through your life. Doreen Hatton, our guest on the program, the author of the book, Then Sings My Soul. A published author, what else keeps you busy?
Oh, boy, I love to be busy. I love to make crafts. I make crayon boxes and crowns and necklaces and tiny little Christmas trees. And I have 2 daughters who teach second graders. Once a month, they have a store in their rooms. This is brilliant. The children can earn play dollars by having good grades and being good in class. And then they can buy things in the store. They love to buy things for themselves and also for their brothers and sisters. They love it, and I love it. I also make things for the staff and the residents here in the place where I live at Sterling Court Senior Residence. And they're given out at Christmas time.
Well, you do stay busy, don't you?
Yes.
And that's the best way to do that. And not only busy for yourself, but busy being able to help other people. You're such a talented writer. You did such an excellent job with the book, Then Sings My Soul. Are you working on new material now?
Well, I'm 85 years old. And with all my crafts, it's kind of hard to, just sit and write anything else. But I did write my autobiography, so I have that.
Ah, very good.
And that's about it, I think.
Well, that could be motivational for many people, just from what you talked about, the life being, the middle child there, and seeing the twinkling stars for you when you were a child. That would be a fascinating to be able to read that. When did you start writing? Was this something you've been interested in all through your life, or something later in life?
Well, that's an interesting thing that you just mentioned, if it's all right if I mention this.
Oh, sure.
I used to think that I could write, okay? So I was so smart, I took a class on writing at the Idaho State University. And it was for pass, no pass. Oh, I was going to get an A,
Yes.
So I did the writing, and at the end of the class, I was given a C. The only C I got in all my years of college. I was devastated. So I asked him why he gave me a C. And he said, because I will not unleash mediocrity upon the world. That was his exact words. So for a while I didn't write anything, and then I decided, well, at least I'll write my autobiography. So I started with that. And actually, people love it. So I think I did pretty well with it.
Well, I think you need to sign a copy. Yeah, you got to sign a copy of Then Sings My Soul and send to him. Those were harsh words, weren't they?
Yes. If I could remember his name, I'd do that. I don't remember.
Such a great story. Doreen Hatton, our guest on the program, talking about writing. So when did you decide, okay, I'm going to do this, and then start working on the book, Then Sings My Soul?
Well, I started writing when I found out that Mason had problems. I thought I could help.
Yes.
So what I said, that it just kind of came to me. So I started writing it. Was wonderful experience.
How long did it take you
So,
to finish the book?
well, it took me about a year because I kept, you know how you write a book and then you go back and you um, fill in,
Oh,
you
yes,
fill in
yes,
the the background and people's, what they look like and stuff.
yes.
And I was doing that, and then the next morning, and then I would save it. And the next morning, I went back to work on it, and what I did disappeared. I couldn't find it anywhere. And this happened several times, and I really got discouraged. And then one day, I took my computer up to my son, and he took everything off the computer except for one place where my book would go. Luckily, I had saved my book, and so I had to start all over again. So that's why it took me about a year to write it.
Yeah, dealing
'Cause I had
with
to
the
start all over again.
technology. Yes, writing is one thing. Being able to save it in a computer is a whole other issue that you have to deal with. Doreen Hatton,
It
our
could
guest
be a
on the
pain.
program. Yes, yes. It was easier when you just would do a typewriter and you pull the page out and you could keep that, or you put it on a legal pad and you were able to keep that. The book we're talking about is Then Sings My Soul. I know that you've done some programs reaching out to an international audience, for example, like in Miami. Any more of those that you'll be doing?
Actually, I'm working with some people up in Canada,
Oh, very good.
where I come from. Yeah. So we're working. They're promoting my book in 4 different cities up there, including Lethbridge, where I came from.
Oh, that's exciting.
That's kind of fun. Yeah.
What's it like being able to write this book and then get it out into the public like that, and seeing that when it's actually being displayed and talked about at book shows and bookstores, that type of thing? That's got to be a fun experience for you.
It is. It makes me feel really happy. And excuse me, if anybody that is listening to us today would like to do this, well, if they have a desire to write and have a good idea, then by all means write, because it can be very, very rewarding to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people that are thinking, I would like to do that, and they're just intimidated by that process. And you got over that, didn't you? Once you decided you were going to write the book, you just jumped right in and did it successfully.
Well, I feel like I was having help.
It sounds like it as you were guided
Yeah.
through the process. There's so many benefits to I think the readers will take away from the book. We got a couple minutes left here at the end of the program. Talk about forgiveness. That's a key factor in the book, Then Sings My Soul. And it's so difficult for some of us to get to that point, isn't it?
I think it's, in a way, it's kind of a learning process.
Yes.
Because by darn, I'm not going to forgive those people for what they did. But when you do forgive them, it cleans out your whole heart and soul and mind, and you're free to love. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing to be able to forgive each other.
Yeah, I heard somebody once say you're not necessarily forgiving the person that you're, on the outward at least, forgiving. It's done more for yourself than for them. It makes you feel better when you let that go. You think that's true?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yes.
Without a doubt. Have you got a minute for me to tell you of an experience?
Oh, yes, please do. Please do.
Okay. I was very angry with one of my cousins because she was angry with me. She apparently felt like I had done something to. She was paying taxes on part of my lot. Okay.
Yes.
And I guess she's been doing it for years. Well, it comes to find out that our brother-in-law had done that on purpose because what she was going to put on her lot, they are mobile home lots. Her mobile home was too big for her lot, so he took part of my lot.
Interesting.
So
Yes.
that's what she was paying for. Okay. So then so I didn't want to see her anymore, and everything. But one day we went down and where she was, and she started just talking about any old thing. But I could tell that she wanted to talk to me really badly. Well, she never asked me for forgiveness or anything, and so it was really interesting because I had not wanted to go down there, but I did. And she was obviously wanted to talk to me, so she was trying to make things up. Well, I got back to my home, and I was standing there, and I felt that forgiveness coming through from my head right down to my toes. It that anger that I felt was just gone. Everything was gone,
Yes.
but love, and it's still the same. I have no animosity towards anyone anymore because of that experience. So,
And that really
forgive
changed
each
your
other.
life, yes, didn't it? That was life changing for you.
Yes.
You got rid of
Absolutely.
that issue that was in your life. And as I said in the beginning, the process of healing often truly begins at the moment of forgiveness, and that's one of the main messages you will find in Doreen's book, Then Sings My Soul. Now, it's written by Doreen L. Hatton. Again, as Doreen said, if you go to Amazon, you'll find several books there with that title, Then Sings My Soul. Look for the one by Doreen Hatton. And if you go to Amazon, or if you go directly to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, you'll link on to the Amazon link that has Doreen's book featured. So it's Then Sing My Soul, Then Sings My Soul by Doreen Hatton. Doreen, it's a pleasure to have you on the program. Hopefully we can get back together. I'd love to have a chance to talk about the autobiographical account of your life. Thank you so much for being with us on the program today. It was fun. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rick, for the opportunity.
It is our pleasure. And once again, the book by Doreen Hatton, Then Sings My Soul. If you go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, you can link on directly to the Amazon link that features Doreen's book. You're listening to This Week in America, and we're back after these messages.